Hey everybody, this is Steve with an update for summer of 2011 on the 727 simulator project. Just going to go through some of the stuff that's updated since last time. In the back we've got circuit breaker panels that were installed. They're not functional, but it's just for looks, and that's that. Then up forward, I started working on overhead lighting panel, and don't have a laser engraver for these. So the glare shield and fire control panel is installed. Electrically it's not connected quite yet. Analog gauges working with the software. Landing gear handle is all wired in and connected to the computer electronically. The throttle quadrant is still in progress. It's been a challenge to get mechanically tied into the computer, but currently all three throttles and reverse thrust on all three are all electronically tied into the computer. And the captain's control column has been a challenge. We got the gear all set and mounted in the top there. It's a little bit loose and still in progress, but it is connected and turns with the other side as well now. We did have to take out some flooring in order to get these seats to fit. These are actually DC-9 seats, and so we had to build some special brackets for those to fit. So the throttle quadrant is really been the big time consumer on the whole project so far. There was a lot of mechanical stuff to solve. It had some cables that were all bound up in there that had to be taken out, a lot of parts to disassemble, and it's part way back together now and working. It's actually tied in mechanically now with to the computer for all three throttles and reverse, speed brake, flaps, and all three fuel cutoff valves are all tied into the computer now too. So up front is where we've temporarily put PC that's running the simulator software and the BU0836 controller, which currently has all three throttle inputs, flaps, speed brake, X and Y, and I'll show you where those potentiometers are tied in underneath. So underneath here right now, this is the potentiometer that's providing the roll inputs, and I've got it temporarily rigged up with a string right now. This is the base of the co-pilot's control column, and I'm working a little bit trying to get the right ratio for the turns on the potentiometer. So got it temporarily on a piece of string, and then once I get it resolved, I'll have something more permanent like a rubber belt or something else. This here is the potentiometer for pitch axis inputs, and I'm still working on right now getting the right the ratio on these as well. This is the action that it has. So this is the control column forward and backwards. Okay, this is looking upwards into the throttle quadrant. So there are three steel cables coming downwards. That's providing a mechanical linkage for throttle and reverse thrust. Those are connected to these bars, which are then connected to potentiometers up underneath the radio section. This next terminal board here, terminal block, is going to be used for connection points between both yokes. They have the trim control, autopilot disengage, radio transmit, and so forth on that. Those will both They're both tied into this terminal block, and it'll be extending from this terminal block to the PC. Here's one more shot of the throttle control linkage. So this is actually idle thrust rotated through to full thrust. That's pretty much the latest on the project. Thanks for watching.